Thank you, everyone, for coming to this Tuesday night yoga therapy class, and wish you all the best for this holiday season coming. And tonight we're working with mind, emotions, and the whole body. So just finding your spot. On this wintry night, lots of wind, lots of snow. And just kind of assessing how you're doing this class. You can do lying in your bed, that works for your body. And just noticing, would you like to have your legs straight, or would you like to have them bent? What feels better in your body? I'm just starting with some belly breathing. Inhale into the belly. Exhale, making a ha sound. These belly breathings for grounding. Inhale, expanding into the hands. Exhale, drawing the belly in, making a ha sound. If you like adding the Brahmari breath, inhale, Brahmari, inhale, expand. Exhale. Inhale, expand the belly. Exhale, draw it in as you hum. Expand. Exhale, hum. If you like adding an om sound, or you can keep humming. Place one hand on the heart, the other on the belly, or both on the heart, or both on the belly. Now expand. And expand. Just checking in with how you're feeling in your heart center, in your belly center, any tightness, any restriction of the breath in either of these centers. Can you try to inhale into the chest, then into the belly? Exhale, draw the belly in, the chest falls. Just notice if either of those centers feels a bit tight or restricted. Let's get into that breathing and anatomy through moving the body. Inhale, bring the arms up. So we're going to come back to feeling those centers later after we've moved a bit. Exhale, bringing the arms down. Now you can move one arm at a time. You can bend the elbows. You can bring a pillow or a bolster behind you. So you can also have a blanket or a pillow under the head to keep the chin more in line with the heart. So any of those things. Inhale, Ujjayi Pranayama, constricting the throat. Tucking the chin down at the end of the inhale, if that works for your body. Exhale, bringing the arms down, pulling up from the pelvic floor up towards the belly button. Keep this going. Inhale, expanding up. Exhale, contracting down. Do this a few more times on your own or with me. Inhale up, exhale down. We're going to add on. Inhale, bringing the arms up. Exhale, bringing one leg in at a time, drawing the leg in, hugging the knee on top or underneath. Again, the opposite leg can be bent if that feels better for you. Inhale, extend that leg down, and exhale, other side. Now, if you have your legs bent, you might want to just do one side for a few and then the other. Otherwise, if you can, side to side. Inhale, extending, Tadaka Mudra. Exhale, Ekapada Apanasana, one-legged knee to chest. And Apanasana has to do with that downward flow of energy. Inhale, expanding up. Exhale, rooting down. Inhale, breathing from the chest to the belly. Exhale, breathing from the pelvic floor up. Like you're zipping a pair of jeans up. As you exhale, inhale, like you're unzipping a winter jacket or a sweater. Breathing from the chest down. Just keep that going. And again, you could be working one side and then the other. If you've got one leg bent, feel free to modify your back. This exercise is wonderful for the legs and the feet and the lower back. Okay, we're going to add on. So this time, just to give us a few more options, we're going to start with bent knees and we're going to work one side at a time. You're going to extend your right leg out. It could be your left, but I'm going to start with the right. And you're going to inhale, bring your right arm up as you stretch the right leg away. Exhale, bend the knee into the chest. Inhale, bring the leg up and the arms up. Exhale, bend the knee into the chest. Inhale, extend down. We're going to do this 2 more times. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, drawing in. This wonderful work for the knees and the hamstrings. Inhale, extending long. Now you could do this with the other leg long as well. You might prefer that. Exhale in. So much harder. Inhale up. Now when you go up, you could hold under the thigh, for example. Exhale, drawing in. You could keep holding under the thigh. And inhale, lengthening down. Okay, we're going to move to the other side. So that right leg can be bent or it can be straight. This is for the legs and feet and lower back. So the whole lower part of the leg. It's also somewhat into the hips, but not so much. If you tend towards some edema or swelling in the legs, this can be useful at the end of the day. I know myself, just genetically, I have that tendency carried on from my mother's side of the family. And I always notice, oh, wow, I've been standing all day. My legs are pretty swollen. And in the morning, they're always not. So this kind of thing can be really helpful at the end of the day, just to get all that blood and lymph moving. You could do it side to side. We're doing 3 times on one side. You can modify those arms as I showed earlier, holding underneath the knee. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Now, to make this a little bit more engaged with the core, that last one you can definitely do with the core, but it's hard to kind of focus on that usually. Inhale, arms coming up, pointing those toes. As you exhale, you can draw one leg down in at a time, or if you can, draw both legs in and try to use that core strength from the pelvic floor up. Inhale, up to the sky, arms overhead. Exhale, bringing the knees into the chest. Inhale, lengthening down. Now, if it's too much to extend the legs all the way, you can just go to here and move in and out from there, or extend all the way down to Tadaka Mudra. So this is your inhale. Exhale, asanas, knees to chest. Inhale, Urdhva Prasrita Padasana, upward legged pose. Exhale, knees to chest, Apanasana. Inhale, legs out, Tadaka Mudra. Doing this 2 more times. Exhale, drawing in pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, rooting down, and you can modify it by just touching those toes down. Hands by the hips. Inhale, extending out. And I think we're about done. Exhale, bringing those arms down, rest. Do each of these exercises 4 to 6 times. Sometimes you can do as few as 3 as well. Just resting here, the legs can just turn out or they could be parallel. Just rest, notice how you feel. Let's just dial into that breathing anatomy again. So feeling the chest, feeling the belly. Just notice the breath moving chest to belly as you inhale, belly to chest as you exhale. Maybe you're breathing a little bit more deeply now, a little bit longer. Just notice if anything's changed. Okay, so we're going to grab our belt. And your belt, making a loop with it. You can use a scarf, you can use a TerraBand, and you don't have to loop it. That's just a personal preference that I have. But you might prefer to hold your belt a different way. I like to loop it and then put my hands, palms facing down towards me so that I can relax the hands as much as possible. I've got the left leg into the wall. Ekapadam Ustasana. And this is the Sutta version or lying down version. And as you exhale, you can bend your knee. You might want to hold a little higher up in the belt. So bend your knee and get into that hip. We haven't gone there yet today. Inhale, lengthening, maybe pointing the toes. Exhale, bending. And inhale, pointing. It's kind of like a supine lunge. So one of you I know has been traveling, and after traveling, it's really good to do these leg stretches, invert the legs, because again, you'll likely have some swelling in the legs. When you leave the ground like that on an airplane, you really aggravate the apana vayu, the downward flow of energy, because you're doing a lot of udana, the upward flow. So the yogis suggest for such things that we invert. Moving to the other side. Just noticing how your hamstring, your calf are doing. You could be a little closer in front. You've got the belt to support you. And you're going to exhale, bend the knee into the chest. And inhale, straighten, maybe pointing toes towards the ceiling. Just getting into the hip, lower back, the leg, the foot, whole lower body involved here. Turning around 6 to 8 times. We're going to switch sides. This time we're going to stay in the pose and stretch that leg a bit more. So we've really hopefully warmed up the leg. And if you can, flexing the toes towards the nose and bringing your hip down to the ground. So trying to shift it down. You can use your hand, same hand as leg, and kind of draw the hip down. You try that. And you can just stay like this, or you can move the leg, inhale, point away from you, exhale, flex towards you. You could also put your hands in namaste position. It's really stretching that leg. If that works for you, you can always keep it moving if it's feeling uncomfortable or you're getting cramping or anything like that. You can always keep it moving. We're going to switch sides. Just pick your medicine. You again can keep it moving back and forth. Inhale, point, exhale, flex, or just stay here. So you can go more deeply into that leg stretch. Staying around 6 breaths. And of course, you can always have that opposite leg bent, just a reminder on that. Just bringing when you're done, both legs up. Holding that belt. You can do again that namaste position or just hold the belt. And if you want to add some movement, inhale, pointing the toes away. Exhale, flexing the toes towards you. Lower back on the ground. You did eat in the last couple of hours, you might be a little uncomfortable pressing your belly, so you can avoid that if you're still feeling like you're digesting your dinner. Just be careful not to disrupt your digestion by compressing too much. And when you're ready, release. So we've really prepared for one of my intentions tonight with mind emotions, which was to bring you into an inversion. So I'm going to use this bolster. You can certainly use a pillow or even just a simple block. If bed pillow is fine. Bolster is great. If you've got one, yoga bolster, they're a wonderful prop. They're one of the more expensive props. So Christmas is coming, holiday season coming. You can always put that on your list. It's a very useful prop for doing restorative yoga. However, you can just use a pillow or a couple of pillows. And once you have that, you want to bring your legs up and make sure that the bolster is high enough. So I like it right to the base of my rib cage, to the waist. It's going to depend on your back. And bringing your legs up. If you don't have this, you can also bring your legs up the wall as a modification. And you're just going to stay here without using the belt now. And you're going to inhale, you're going to bring one leg down and perhaps point the toes. And exhale, you're going to bring the leg up, contracting from the pelvic floor to the belly button, maybe bringing your toes towards your nose as you exhale. And then the other side, inhale, lengthening down. And exhale, coming up. Now, when you come up, try to move from the pelvic floor to the belly button. So this is stretching into the hips. And it's also using the core strength. And when you feel you've done enough of that, just stay in this inversion. You can just stay like this, or as you exhale, You can bring one knee at a time towards the chest, which is something like a chanasana, which is a modification that we do in shoulder stand or viparita karani. So you can do that. It's like an inverted apanasana. And then the next piece is to hold after exhale. And you could hug that knee into the chest and hold after exhale. Also point and flex the feet, add a bit more pumping of the lymphatic system, the venous system, just by pointing and flexing those feet. And then hold after exhale, half the length of your exhale. You can also try bending your knees into your chest at the same time, both of them, not just one. This is a little bit more intense. I'm going to do it without hugging the knees. That feels a bit too much for my body tonight. Up, exhale down, hold after exhale a couple of seconds or perhaps half the length of your exhale. This is all really good for helping with prolapse of the organs, which happens as we age. Everything kind of falls down for incontinence. And also for the mind emotions, these inversions are very down regulating. This hold after exhale. This helps us drop our attention back into our bodies. And if you like, now staying in the pose, viparita karani, just stay here and breathe. And again, you can do that hold after exhale. You can point and flex the feet. And you could even bring your arms to the sky to add a bit more of an inversion effect for the arms. You might get some tingling in your fingertips as the blood flow returns towards the heart from the fingertips. I like to do a hold after exhale the same length as my exhale. That is another option that's a bit more intense. If you're getting a lot of tingling in your legs, just feel free to come out of the pose at any time. Just rest in Shavasana, relaxation. Pointing and flexing of the feet can be very helpful for the knees. When you've had enough, bring your knees into your chest, perhaps hug them in, or just draw them in. When you're ready, extending, bringing your feet down. And move that bolster or pillow a little further down so it's under your hips. You're going to just try straightening one leg. So I'm going to straighten my right leg, but it should be comfortable in the back. If it's not, adjust that bolster. You might want to get rid of it. You could use something lower if you're having discomfort. Setu Bandhasana, this is an Iyengar yoga pose. The classical version is with both legs straight. That's pretty intense on the lower back for most people. I'm going to bend the left leg, and we're just going to move as we move into the lower back. Inhale, bringing the right arm up overhead, pointing those toes away. Just make sure you've got enough room. Inhale, lengthen and stretch those toes away as going into the lower back and hip. And exhale, flex the toes towards your nose and the arm down, just that. Inhale, extend. And exhale, flex. So you might feel this in your psoas area, your hip flexor, your neck and shoulders. If it feels too easy, certainly you can do both legs. Try to extend those pauses after inhale and exhale. We're going to switch sides. You might notice one side's quite different than the other. Inhale, extending the left arm, left leg, and stretching. Feel the connection between the fingertips and the toes, stretching away from each other on that one side, really getting a big stretch. One side at a time. Exhale, bringing the hand down, flexing the toes towards the nose, drawing the belly in. Hopefully getting a stretch through that left hip, working the flexibility of the left side of the lower back. Again, you can just do this with a pillow under you, a block, bolster. Just finishing up, you can bend both knees and just stay like this. You could put a belt on your thighs if you were to rest here for a while. You could also stretch your legs away and put your feet at a wall and just stay here. So this is Satupandasana. So if this is too much for your back, feel free to bend your knees. You could put a belt on your thighs to hold your legs from doing this. You could also just use a block, something smaller if this feels too intense. It's a big stretch of the hip flexors. If you like, inhale, arms coming up, chin coming in. Exhale, bringing those arms down. Or perhaps just staying in the pose. That's what I'm going to do. Again, I'll just show this. You can take that belt and find it. I'm not sure where my belt went. Oh, there it is. And you can put it on your thighs. I'm just going to show this because we're going to try to stay here for a minute. This is quite a stretch for the back. It helps with any flexibility of the back. It might be too much. when I started restorative yoga and around 2003, I think that's the first time I experienced props. I couldn't do this kind of pose. It was too much for my back without bending my knees. So just respect your body where it's at right now. Things do change, but it does take time. So that might be your pose. And you just kind of rest there. Can't rest easily. You can also put a block between the thighs or a pillow. Do that. Or if you're feeling comfortable, and straighten those legs. And that belt might give you a bit more action. Leave that block in also. Arms coming up if it's comfortable, or arms down. Just breathing here. Is really working that psoas, some kind of diaper that connects from your rib cage down through your pelvic floor and then up to your almost your middle back, your lower back, middle back of thoracic spine. So it's a big muscle in the body of the psoas. In terms of mind emotions, the psoas tends to grip. When there's fear in the system from, can be PTSD, for example, it's frozen in the system from fear from the past, when you haven't been able to flee from a situation. It's a big area to work with. Really working that exhalation. The arms can be up or down, your choice. The legs can be straight or bent, your choice. Restorative poses, you can stay 3 to 5 minutes, even sometimes 10 minutes. So we're not going to stay that long, but when you're ready, starting to move out of it, bringing your arms down if they're up, bending the legs if they've been straight. If you have any props, you might want to remove the belt, the bolster, pillow. Just be careful to move slowly. And I'm going to stretch your lower back after that, the other direction. And just to help get a little bit more deeply into the flexion after that extension, you might want to put a small pillow or soft block underneath the pelvis as you bring your knees to your chest as you exhale. Inhale, legs to the sky, arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees into the chest. Legs up, arms up. Exhale, knees to your chest. Another one, great for the lower back and for the knees, the legs. Centering a little bit of core work, bringing those legs up. When you press through to Tadasana, you might want to have that block under your hips or a pillow just for a little bit more flexion of the lower back. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, you're going to bring one leg down. Now the leg can be straight or it can be bent. So it can be something like this, bent. So that's your inhale, exhale up. Or it can be straight, and you might add the same arm as leg extending. Urdhva press through to Tadasana. This is great for working that core strengths. In terms of mind, emotions, working with the pelvic floor is very grounding. Working with Mula Bandha, Mula means root, Bandha lock, which is very grounding for the mind emotions. It also has lots of physical benefits for the whole body. To have a strong core. So just be sure to bend that knee if you're feeling unsafe in any way, with the legs straight. Let's bring the feet slightly back as you exhale. And of course, you can do both legs if you like, but be careful, it's a lot. Might not come down as far if you're doing both legs. Just finishing up, knees to chest. Moving into your Shavasana, relaxation. Now, this Shavasana, you can put a bolster just under your legs, or you can lie the bolster this way, lengthwise. You can use a pillow. You can also use, if you've got these blocks, I'll show that in a minute, you put those under your chest. There are lots of options. Might be hearing that wind. It's quite a windy night here on the Sunshine Coast. So the bolster, if you're using it, or a pillow, bed pillow, you want to bring the bottom of it to about the base of the rib cage. And this is to help us open the chest, which I think at this time of year when there's a lot of colds going around, it's really important to get oxygen moving through the lungs as much as possible, especially into these upper chambers, which are a little harder to get into. Harder to get oxygen into those chambers just because of gravity. But also just terms of our anatomy, we tend to, do a lot of forward rotation of those shoulders in our lives. So bringing the shoulders back, opening. You can also lie on a rolled mat, a rolled blanket. If your lower back is hurting, I know some of you need this modification. I used to always do this pose this way again, because this is quite a bit of extension on the lower back. Put a block or a pillow underneath the buttocks, and it might take any pressure off the lower back. If you're still uncomfortable, you can bend the knees, put another pillow or bolster under the knees. So just find your expression of this shape. And here we're going to do some supine pranayama. You can also elevate the back of the bolster with a block. Inhale into the upper chest, middle chest, lower chest. Exhale, draw from the pelvic floor to the lower belly, to the belly button, and the chest falls. Inhale, upper chest, middle chest, lower chest. Exhale, pelvic floor, zipping up towards the belly button. Just keep this going your own timing. Pick a ratio, Ujjayi Pranayama, constricting the throat. Inhale, 4 to 10 seconds. Exhale, the same. Pause between inhale and exhale. This is supine Ujjayi Pranayama. You might find as you do this, you can gradually add a count to your breath, just counting in your head. You might do 2, for example, at a 4-second count, and then gradually increase to a 5, 6. You don't want to stress the breath. Do about to 80% of your capacity. Getting cold, do cover yourself with a blanket or a sweater. Just lengthening your inhale and your exhale. Samavrati, even counts. You can keep this going if you like. You can rest into a meditation where you're just observing the rise and fall of the belly. You can release this bolster and just lie flat on the back. You could put this under your legs. So any of those things, take your medicine. Again, I invite you to cover yourselves with a blanket if you're feeling cold at all. Classically, the legs are just turning out. I like to modify by using a wall for my feet to stabilize my pelvis, but that's a modification. Also have blanket under the head or a pillow. So if you inhale, you might say to yourself, inhale so, as you exhale, hum. Inhale so, exhale, hum. Inhale so, exhale, hum. That which I am. Unless you could do inhale, I, exhale, am. It's identifying with the true self. Changeless self. Stay here. If you'd like, you can come to a seated position with me. Or you can just stay lying, just continue your meditation. You can put a pillow or bolster on top of your legs just for grounding. It also helps open the hips. You can try that if you like, or you can just do classical sukhasana. You can always put blocks under the knees. In this position, if you like, you can join me for closing chant. Exhale, peace. In. Exhale, peace. It's the heart. Namaste. Namaskaram. I honor that in you, which is the same as that in me, the same as that in all. Conscious link between us. Namaste, namaskaram.